Hi, so I'm recording this and I'm not sure if this is going to be on the channel or not, but I'm just giving it a try. This is actually something that I have come to realize very recently, but it really hit home for me, so I'm just sharing. This channel really started as I wanted to discuss spirit guides, and I am in contact with mine on a regular basis, but this, I want to just be clear, really is because I've been doing this sort of deep dive with the material of Bashar, if you know of Bashar, and if you want to find him ever, you can just go Bashar and pretty much any topic. They do specify that they don't do medical reading. Well, like medical questions anymore. So I did search a few topics that were related to medical stuff, and there's not as much of that. But there you can search him on YouTube, and then I think his website, he has multiple websites, so I'm not really sure which one to point you to. But in any case, this really came from synthesizing Bashar's material for a couple of months, and it finally makes sense to me, whereas I've known about Bashar for a long time, but it wasn't making sense, and it's finally making sense. So one of the things that I synthesized from this material is this. Because I've already spoken about us being on individual paths, and it's because we are supposed to be individual perspectives of the one source. I had this other person who really brought home to me, and then I've seen it a couple times this week, so I also mentioned this, source has been waiting to be us. We have our individual perspectives for a reason. So I came to the conclusion, because I was channeling with my guides yesterday, and I noticed that their answers to me were making things make internal logical sense, where I was always like, I have this question, I have this doubt. And so basically what I realized is this: it's not actually necessary to make sense to anyone else. Okay, so I'm just gonna say this is my goal, and I'm just putting this out there, but I really believe at this point, after several months studying Bashar pretty intensely, and because it's finally making sense, like I said, but I really think that the only real thing that you have to do is make internal sense to yourself. It's like Bashar says, "Know thyself," which is a famous quote, but it's that really is the whole point of being here and being in this perspective, is to know yourself. And so if you are making internal logical sense to yourself, that's really, because I've just it's every time that I try to clarify or explain or anything like that, there's always a miscommunication, because that person is coming from their perspective, and I happen to have a neurodivergent perspective. And I just I reached this point where I'm Oh, I only need to, like, make internal sense. I don't know if you heard that. That was my cat. So, yeah, I think we only need to make internal sense to ourselves. And that goes along with having our own perspectives and our own path. So, I do hope this helps someone. If you like this kind of discussion, go ahead and like, subscribe, or leave a comment. I'm open to any questions. I've been on a deep dive with Bashar. That happens to be like what I'm doing on YouTube when I'm not recording. I'm watching Bashar mostly. So yeah, I don't know. It finally makes sense. I have known about Bashar for like, he's been channeling for I think 40 years, and I've probably known about him for at least 20 years, and it was like not making that much sense to me, but I finally connected some dots, and I found I actually found the commonalities between him and other channelers and other things I knew. So it's finally making sense. If you do want to go into his material, I suggest going directly there. But yeah, it helps. I've been a lot more clear-headed. I also quit social media, so I'm only on YouTube now. And I realize I'm not really in frame right now. But yeah, hello. So, I hope this is helpful. Okay, have a wonderful week as always.